Welcome back to my hometown. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. Please welcome my guest today. She is a lifelong resident of Bowie. She is the current vice president of the Bowie Chamber of Commerce. She has served on the Jim Bowie Day Association for many years. She is the owner of the Montague County Shopper. She is also a real estate agent for the 940 Real Estate Group and a grandmother to 7 grandchildren that all live here in Bowie, which is pretty awesome. Please welcome my guest today, Miss Carolyn Head. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. So, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about the shopper and real estate and the chamber and all that kind of stuff, but we kind of want to go way back, because I always like to go way back, especially since you've been a lifelong resident. So you graduated from Bowie?
Yes.
And in 84?
Yes, sir.
84. Graduated from Bowie. So you went to the junior high now? Is that the junior high then?
Yes.
And
the old high school, which is the intermediate now. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And elementary that was torn down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eastward. So I was thinking it's called, but probably not many people remember. And then graduated high school. And what did you do right after high school?
Right after high school, the following fall, I went to work at the shopper.
So
Same year.
Same year. So did you have jobs during high school?
I did.
Did you work the shopper during high school? Or?
No, I did not. I worked at the Bowie Drug. You probably don't
I don't know. What was that?
It was where the dance, I believe, that store. Mm-hmm. It was a drugstore and an old time soda fountain, and I worked for the Morgans. It was a fun job right there. Great people to work for, and learned how to make sodas, like old-fashioned sodas, and pimento cheese, and
old-fashioned pimento cheese.
Old-fashioned homemade pimento cheese. Did that.
So do you still make it?
I don't. I do not.
So you graduate and work there, and you go to work at the shopper. Was that something you wanted to do, or was it just to kind of was college a thought, or was it just something you didn't really want to do and say, I'm going to work the shopper for a little bit and see how things go?
It was a thought, but I decided I wanted to stay in Bowie, and was newly married and wanted to kind of be a stay-at-home wife, I thought, but soon realized I needed something more, got bored and kind of have to be busy. I'm that person. So just kind of randomly went in there, actually. And then Morgan, the owner at the time, called me back that day or the next day, and I went to work. And it was much different back then. Walmart was not here, so we had a huge office supply store. And then, of course,
because it was down, where was it when you started?
Across the street from the post office.
Okay.
That was its
so was that
home.
Did it take over that whole section there, where that whole block? Or was it just
that building there on the corner of the alley? It's a large building. It's a big building, old building. But the whole front half of the store was just office supplies. I mean, we had a big inventory because there was nowhere else around here to get it at the time without driving. So that was a big part of the business. And in the shopper, he started it in 79, I believe.
And so you went to work in 84, so just about 5 years after they started. So were they printing it there, or did they ship it off to?
Printed it in Wichita Falls at that time. So, and back then it was so different. We actually laid out the paper on boards and cut and paste, literally, and
like actual
everything.
Cutting the paper out, pasting it on the board.
Yes, you had grid sheets, and that was your page. And you literally, cut and waxed back and pasted it, and did it the old-fashioned. It's even hard to think about how in the world we did all that then, but just how you did it. And then he would take it to Wichita Falls to be printed. And when I first started, they still threw it in the yards. Someone went around.
I forgot they used to throw the shopper.
And that was coming to an end not long after I went there, and got it all in the computer, base, and printed labels to go on every single shopper. It was different. Even that part was different when we did start mailing it, and that was a feat in itself. Entering thousands upon thousands of names and addresses, and I remember that well.
So the shopper, let you say that. So it was still free. Has it always been free?
It's always been free.
And so, but then it was mailed to addresses. But now that's not. It doesn't happen that way, does it?
Yes.
Is there addresses on there?
No, there's not addresses anymore. So it went from the actual label, and then the printing press actually would print the address. Did it that way for a while. No name, just the address. And then now it is sorted, and there's no name or address or anything. It's just sorted by route and street and PO box and so forth.
So is that something over the years you had to
just make those changes? Just cost, efficiency, and then postal regulations too. So now the printer we upload it via internet, and then they bring it the next day, sorted and bundled, and take it to some of the post offices, the large like Bowie, Nocona, because it's, we mail to everyone in Montague County, and then into Bellevue, and then Alvord. So we print a little over 14,000 shoppers every single week.
Every week.
And about 12,000 is mailed.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
And so in 80, so what was your first position at the shopper?
My first position at the shopper was at the front, learning the office supply part, and we made copies, we printed business cards, just waiting on the customers, and did that because back then we didn't have any of that in the computer system. We had the old cards, the inventory, so you had to keep up with it. That sounds so long ago. It sounds so antiquated. That's how we did it.
That was
20 years ago.
Almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, long time. And then Lynn just had me do different things. I left for a short time to have my first child, Seth, and I thought I was going to stay at home. I need to stay home. Stay at home mom. Well, after so long, I was like, man, I kind of think I want to go back to work. Well, he called and asked me if I wanted to. So I've been thinking about it, maybe part-time. And so I didn't stay off long, not even a year. And he said, well, we'd like for you to come back and be our bookkeeper. And I remember I said, I don't know how to be a bookkeeper. Oh, you'll be fine. We'll show you. Judy will train you. She'll show you. You'll be fine. Okay. I've just told you I don't know how to do it. And anyway, went back, did that. She trained me, and so I did that for quite some time, and then got into the typesetting. We had older machines. They were called compographic machines. Old way of doing it. You sat at the machine, but all you saw was this little readout. It was like this, and you just see what you were typing up there. Then you have to take the canister out of it, go put it in this processor, and your stuff would come out, and you just hoped that you did all the commands. This machine was crazy looking, all these things. And so you hoped that your spacing was right and everything, so you could just cut it out and build your ad. Did that for a good while, actually.
And so after you have Seth, then is he going to daycare and you're working? And
yes, I'm working and full time, and I just did nearly every position up there. I even helped him some on the press because he eventually we had what we call the job press to do invoices, envelopes, various things like that, copies, flyers, and so forth. So I kind of helped him some with that. Then continued to do the bookkeeping for, I think, pretty much from then on. And then built pages, that's what we call building the shopper,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of got away from the front. And then in the 90s, he started a publication called the Ragtop Marketplace. And you may or may not remember when the whole ostrich emu, the Rias.
Yes.
That's the term for those 3/3.
Mm.
It's a weird word. So he just saw an opportunity, and it was a magazine.
So that people would write in, write articles for it?
Yes,
like he
we
started
had
the publication?
We started it. We had writers. We got up to at one point with that over 40 employees. And so it was just kind of crazy. Just throwing up offices and walls.
That was in the 90s.
And somewhere right in there, I don't have all the years exactly, but he bought a printing press and put it out at the building on Y Street, where we worked for many years, and started printing our own publications. So this magazine went kind of crazy. It got up to 400 pages. We printed it every other week.
Wow.
It went all over the world. We had a big subscription department. It was, thinking back on it now, it was just nuts. He really saw a great opportunity. You know, it played out, all of that kind of fizzled out, but during that time, it was a good.
How long did it last?
I'm going to say maybe 5 years. I don't even know if it was quite 5 years.
So there was a shopper still?
It was still going.
It stayed by the post office and just moved the printing down to the building on Y Street.
And then we eventually moved everything out there.
And he was still but he wasn't printing the shopper, it was just the magazine.
Did print the shopper at that time, yes.
And then when did he go back to having a printer?
Well, Lynn retired in 2005, and that's when I purchased the shopper from him. And
so did that seem just like a kind of a natural thing?
It did, because at that point I was just taking care of everything. It had been for many years, so it was a very smooth transition to that. And then someone else purchased the printing side, so I continued to print out there for several years until probably about eight years ago, and then took it to Gainesville. And then now I have it printed in Granbury.
Is where it's printed. And then so then you could downsize your space.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Didn't need near the space, of course, out there, and so the move to right off downtown was a really good one. It fit a very good fit for what we needed, and the location's good, and so that's been really good.
And the shopper, so as it's, you purchased it in 05, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes since 85. Just from some of the, just the way you print it, just the way you design it, everything. Probably from in the last 10 years, have you seen some really big changes in the way, especially with digital marketing, digital media? And you don't email it out, right? Or is it digital? Is it online also?
It is online, yes. We don't sell anything online. Sometimes you can pay a fee and have it on there as well as getting it mailed to you. We don't do anything like that. It is there. It's available. So that's good. So that was a change, not a real major change. Some of the changes have been distribution hasn't changed a whole lot in that number of years. Still goes to the post office. They get it out all over the county. Some of the programs and the software has made it much more efficient. And you just need less people.
So it takes less employees to run.
It takes less people than it did back then, basically doing everything by hand. But there's not been a ton of changes. The shopper is just kind of maintained, and it doesn't look hugely different than it has. The one look change is when we started with this new printer last November, they could not do the tablet size, the smaller. So if you notice now we're a regular size, like a newspaper. And that was sort of a big deal just because it was always the other size, you know. And
that's how you just knew the shopper as being a smaller size.
Yes, and so it just you know, we had to just kind of get used to it, and we are now, and it really didn't affect our customers greatly. You know, the ads just had to make some adjustments. So yeah, that's.
Do you see a decline maybe in the amount of ads that are put in there because of social media or other ways that they can sell or market things?
You know, to be totally honest, not a lot. The shopper just works really well. The whole concept of it. I think it has to do with a number of things. We're in a smaller rural community, if you will. So people still like to pick things up and thumb through and turn the pages. There are certain businesses that, yes, when that started some years ago, car dealers were one of the first ones that, because you know, they were had a big presence. But the majority, no. I mean, if you look at the shopper today, and if you look at one 15 years ago, you won't see a huge change, and you'll see many of the very same businesses. Some of them are advertising today, and they're advertising today on the literally. So, of course, I'm going to market the shopper. That's what I'm supposed to do, and it works, but the concept works. You know, you mail to that many people, then your business, whether it's a service, repair, real estate, and on and on and on, it's going to get seen, and people rely on it. And
because an algorithm isn't going to miss it.
Right.
It's getting mailed. Regardless, it's going to a home, it's going to a business of 14,000 people.
Yes.
That somebody's going to touch it, somebody's going to see it.
Yes.
There's nobody saying, well, it doesn't look this certain way on the front page, so they don't see it.
Right.
Everybody gets in their hand.
Yes, and so it's just worked all of these years, and it still works. And the shopper's free, so it costs a good bit of money to mail that to that many people every week. So, you know, we rely on the advertisers, and it's just chock full. I know you see it. I've seen it all these years, so it kind of speaks for itself. And then we also put community news and happenings and. You know,
has it always been that way, or have you added things to it over the years? Some of those.
We have changed that maybe over the years somewhat. Maybe I think we put more of those type items in there now. I like it. I think people like it. I think they like to read about what's going on, and we don't do any reporting or visual. Go out.
Do you still have what we saw?
You know, we don't, but we had been talking about that for the last year or so. People loved that.
Yeah.
And we may just have to bring that back. And of course, it was easy to do because, you know.
Because people would write in it, right? Or how would that?
Actually, back then, it was the employees only.
Oh.
We put what we saw. So if somebody went to lunch and saw Aaron doing a podcast, you know, saw Aaron on the corner of so-and-so street, and it was fun, and people liked it, and really looked forward to it. So the girls and I have talked about bringing that back. It's something fun. We look forward to reading. So, yeah. And then people send things in to us, and we encourage them to do that. Because, again, I think that's one of the things people like to open it up and see. And,
yeah, because it's neat. Especially with social media, I think, they caught somebody, they actually saw somebody.
Yes.
And I just think that's neat.
Yeah. So there's still, obviously, still a need, a market, just by what we still do and the amount of advertisers we have, and they rely on us, we rely on them.
And through the years, I'm sure you've been in all kinds of different boards and associations, all that kind of thing. How long have you been in the chamber? Involved with the chamber?
Involved with the chamber many, many years ago. I was a director, and then did it for many years. And then, so this go around, I believe I'm in my 4th year. This COVID year kind of, you know what COVID year was. So, that year kind of didn't count, so I think I'm either 4 or 5 or something.
Then the current vice president of the
Yes.
of the chamber, and I mean that's so being on the chamber and being part of the Jim Bowie Day Association. Those take up a lot of time because we really tried to get it early in the summer, but because of Jim Bowie Days and having so much, and I think sometimes people take for granted the things that the chamber does, the things that Jim Bowie Day Association does. I think the Jim Bowie Days just happens. But it doesn't just happen. There's really probably a whole year of work that goes into that.
And it's changed so much over the years. Scott, my husband, and I got involved, I think we're right around that 10-year mark. And it was just really different then. It really declined. Not sure the reasons, lack of interest, maybe. I don't know, but it's come a long way. We have a tremendous board, a large board, and everyone works really, really hard. I feel like every year, as a group, and not giving us the credit, just the community, the people. It has just grown and evolved, and every year, I feel like it improves and is more enjoyable, or maybe adds something exciting. It's just a neat thing, and we are in our 55th year now. So
Jim Bowie Days
is been around a long, long time.
That was a long time.
Yes. So, and it brings a lot of people to Bowie. It's probably our largest community event. I believe I'm correct in that. So, I like to think that businesses, benefit families. It's time for them to get together. And, I know when I was a kid, we did the frogs and turtles. It was downtown at Legend Bank.
Yes.
A covered parking lot, and so it's kind of neat to keep a tradition going like that, and I think people really, really love it.
And then so, being here all your life, are these like the chamber and Jim Bowie Day Association? I'm sure there's other things you do. Is it things that you go, I want to, do people ask you to be on them, or is it just something you go, I kind of want to be a part, I want to help, I want to kind of make a difference?
Those two boards, we were actually asked when I was asked about being on or nominated for the chamber director at the time when I went in. And on that one, I hesitated a little bit, mainly just time. Just, I don't like to volunteer for something and then not do my part, so to speak. But it's worked out, and I attend. There's not many events that I have missed. I try to want to, be there and be present and do what I can and do my part. Because if everybody said I'm too busy, then a lot of things wouldn't get done. And some of our associations and groups and this and that would be lacking, and some possibly are just because people are busy. So I like being able to help and lend something whenever I can.
And I think it's important that because we do love our community, and there are areas that we can help, whether it's the chamber, whether it's Jim Bowie Days, whether it's cleaning up a park, painting a park, you know,
Absolutely.
really beautification, whatever it is. It's volunteers, and just because you're not paid for something doesn't mean you can't do it.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what our community runs on, is
Yes.
volunteers are people that you do it because you love the community.
Yes.
Jim Bowie Day Association. Can we make it better?
Yes.
Let's get together, and I think we can make it a little bit better.
Yes. And, you know, everyone can bring, like our Jim Bowie Days board. You don't have to ride a horse or know anything about rodeo to be on the board. Everybody has their niche, and one person may feel like they're just doing a small thing, but I'm looking at the group going, I don't think anyone else could do that, has the knowledge or the whatever. So it takes all types, and there's something you can do. You know, it's a lot of work, from trash pickup to manual labor to you know, some of the guys are lifting and welding and, you know, things that of course I couldn't do, but then there's things I can do. So you know how it works with a group. You can bring something, and for me it's gratifying. It makes me feel good to be able to help. And again, if everybody said no for all their reasons, then you know,
we wouldn't have any.
There'd be a lot of things that didn't get done. So we have a lot of great volunteers in our town. You look around, you see many people just doing things. As volunteer, you don't expect any pay for it. You're glad that you can be a part of it, and especially if it grows and prospers and improves and helps our city and our community, then even better.
And you know, I know the chamber, you go to a lot of grand openings for businesses, ribbon cuttings.
Yes.
How neat is that when a business opens, to be part of that, to be a chamber member and be there knowing that they're, you know, just like, you know, it might be a new business and maybe taking over a business, but just like you were all those years ago, start, you know, taking over a business.
Yes.
How's that feel when you go to a new business and know that they're going to serve our community?
It's really exciting for me, and I try real hard to go to those, because if I was that new business owner, I would sure hope, you know, everyone would want to come and meet. But it's exciting to see them starting something new. We've had in the last year many ribbon cuttings, many new businesses that newcomers to Bowie, new business owners, new Bowie residents. So that's even in itself exciting, because I feel like we're growing in that way, and people want to come here, which is exciting. I mean, we want growth. So it's exciting to see them, you know, start up their new business and just want to help them and be there for them. And that's the job of the chamber, is to promote our businesses and help network. So it's good. It's exciting. I like doing that.
And those small businesses, as they open, it's also important, us as citizens, as community members, we go visit those.
Yes.
And it's neat when we see the chamber ribbon cutting when everybody's out there supporting them. That's really neat. But we have to follow up with that as community members, as fellow community members, and we support those small businesses.
Yes.
Those small businesses count on those dollars.
They do. And it's not easy. You know, it's not. We are a small town. And so the more that we can shop local and support each other's businesses, the better. You know, if you drive out of town, you might maybe save a little money, but then your time, which our time is valuable, and fuel and so forth. So,
it does. I mean, it pans out.
It does.
I mean, it really works itself out.
Yes.
So, and you got into real estate how many years ago?
5 years.
5 years ago. So, how does that come about? How do you?
How did that?
How do you own the shopper and then you go, I think we're going to do real estate?
Right. I thought about it for a long time, many years prior to doing it. But during those years, I was, in my mind, I thought, I just don't think I can do both. And I probably could have, but I convinced myself, not now, not now. So when I did it, I was just ready. I thought, I'm just at a place that I want to do it. I could see myself doing it all those years.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would enjoy it. I thought it's something I was capable of doing. And so I just thought I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been good. And it's just like I thought. I love it. It's just another way of helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, there's the income aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's very gratifying. Again, you're helping someone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going through a big purchase, investment, if not the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very rewarding to be able to help them. And they, clients rely on you. Maybe they've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them haven't. And I remember being there, being that person, not having a clue.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. I mean, just today I've talked to numerous people about just various things in real estate, and it's good.
So is that challenging to juggle both, or is it kind of a place with, as long as a shopper you've been doing it, that it's kind of, you can balance it out pretty?
When I did it, that's where I was. I thought, I think I can balance both. I have wonderful employees that just couldn't say enough great things about my employees that they can.
And have they been with you a long time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They could pretty well run it without me, generally. But so yeah, I thought, okay, I think I can juggle the two. There are times that it's challenging. A few years ago, real estate just got really kind of crazy, and but you manage it, you just do, and you don't have hours with real estate, and so maybe weekends, evenings, and that's part of real estate, no matter the market or what's going on, because weekends, evenings, when people are not working, and just kind of juggle it. It is a juggling act a lot of the time, but somehow I thrive on that, and like it. I like being busy. I always have said I think I work better under pressure. So I no longer worry that's not going to get done, because I know I'm going to get it done, and I seem to work better like that.
Do you think when you were younger, you thought, I'm going to stress about that because it may not get done, but now you just know from experience that it's going to get done.
It's going to get done. So, one way or the other, it's going to get done, and people understand. But my nature is to accommodate, so I want to do it right then for them. I remember being the person, I don't want to wait until the end of the day. I need you now. So I try really, really hard to do that. And I like it. It's rewarding, and it works for me.
And so, over the years of having a shopper, did you run into any challenges over those years? Whether it's employees, whether it's like, this is a lot of work, or do you ever have that thought, like, I don't know if this is really what I want to do the rest of my life?
I might have had a few of those moments. I don't remember having a time where I just don't think I'm going to do this anymore. Apparently I'm a kind of a creature of habit, so, got comfortable and felt I was good at what I was doing, and then had opportunity. I don't really feel like I had a ton of challenges. If I'm thinking about many, many years ago, being a mom of young kids, but that's what everyone is, getting them to daycare, and having to be at work by 8 and all of those things, but it's part of life. And now I watch these moms do it with more than 2, and I had it pretty easy. But no real serious challenges. I just was very comfortable and felt like I maybe kind of found my niche, if you will. And so I just sort of stuck with it.
Which I think is unique, especially in our community, being a smaller community.
Yes.
That you can get out of high school and you just find that niche, that thing that works for you, that you enjoy doing, that it just kind of, you're able to work your way through, learn new things. Because all those years, you you learned a lot of things.
I did.
I mean, from marketing to bookkeeping to how to design the paper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, advertising. I'm sure you sold advertising.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of things.
Yes.
That you've learned over those years.
Yeah, it was neat to, and too, Morgan had the confidence in me to let me try it all, and it was fun because I like to be busy and tend to maybe get more doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he probably saw that in me and come try this one. I want you to do this. I want you to learn that, and then to the point I was just pretty well running it and taking care of just about virtually everything. And he was at a time that was great. He had worked very, very hard. Very brilliant businessman. So much from him. I still enjoy visiting with him today. So yeah, it's been a cool path.
And sometimes we don't get that opportunity in a small community and small business to have that mentor.
Yes.
That can teach us, because that's a valuable. That's more valuable, I think, sometimes than any school we can learn from.
Yes. I say that often.
Yes.
The things that I have learned over the years, many things, whether it be just a little thing, a little procedure, that I have kept and it has stayed with me all these years. Whether the way I run my business now, the things I do, the steps I take, learn so very much of that from him, and it's just like you said, it's invaluable.
And you see that crosses over into real estate, those habits, those disciplines.
Absolutely, yes, for sure it does. And
probably in anything, whether it's in the chamber, whether it's in the Jim Bowie Day Association, any board you're on. I mean, it just carries over.
You find yourself with the same thought processes, how you think things need to be and run, and so maybe a little bit of a control freak comes out at times like that. But no, seriously, I learned so much, and I think it's been very valuable in my businesses and just life, and can't hardly pay a price for that.
Yeah, because I mean, it just helps in everything.
Yes.
And so, at any time your kids come work for you?
Emily has worked for me over the years, from a teenager off and on. Then she'd have a stint, work kind of on a regular basis, and she's wonderful. There's not anybody who would just feel comfortable with your business. And I mean, I still do all of my bookkeeping, my reports, all of that myself.
You do all that yourself?
Yes. And anyway, nowadays she's such a busy mom and wife, mom of four, and also works part-time that I don't get her very often. In the summer, she came and worked a week for me, and it was so nice. I was behind. And in those few hours, literally, she had me all caught up. But, maybe one day again when she's not so busy, but for now, it's just, yeah.
Yes. And so and you have 7 grandchildren.
Yes.
Most I have 7 grandchildren. And which is, I mean, I'm kind of jealous that all 7 live in Bowie.
Yes.
And that's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
That doesn't happen too often.
It doesn't. And,
yeah.
And when I talk to people and friends that theirs aren't close, I really do feel sad for them. And of course, they wish they were close, but I do because, maybe I take it for granted that mine are right here, and I don't go very long without seeing them, and so it's pretty wonderful.
What do you think made them stay? Kids to have grandkids, and what do you think? And one just moved back.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Rowdy, our second oldest, and his family moved here just about a month ago, and they left Bowie. They like the smaller town, the smaller school, for their son Rocker. My Seth and Emily, of course, grew up here. Seth went off to college to Tech for a while and came back and got in the oil and gas business and landed a really good job doing that, and just wanted to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And he and Kendall had Jack and Tyler, and they wanted to stay in Bowie and raise their kids here, and just did that great. And Josh, Emily's husband, grew up in Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
All his family grew up in Bowie, so it's kind of the same with them. They just wanted to stay and work here and raise their kids here. So,
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's a real blessing.
yes, it
That you
is.
can have them
Yes,
all here.
it is.
And if they want to stay, they want to raise a family here.
Yes,
Because again, that doesn't happen.
it does.
So often some kids are,
I'm very thankful.
how quick can I get out of town?
Yes.
They might come back later, but
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Seth was very anxious to get out of town, but
Mhm.
I was sure happy when he came back. But it is neat, and so I feel extremely blessed about
Mhm.
that.
And I think you kind of mentioned success of having the opportunity with Lynn Morgan and being a mentor. What are some other successes that you feel just have living in the community? May not be business related, but just living here, being here.
Successes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things you enjoy, things that might even say the things that make you call it my hometown. Besides just living here, there's other things that make you call it that.
Yes. Well, growing up here and living here, and honestly, working at the shopper all of these years.
Mm-hmm.
For so many years, and I may still be called today the shopper girl. And so you just meet so many people, and you're able to, I've been able to help people in just various ways. You know, I feel like sometimes we're sort of the yellow pages. People look to us and call us and come in. There's so many things, but it's okay. We want them to.
Mm-hmm.
So success is just being a part of this community, I think. Raising, again, my kids here, and hopefully teaching them seeing as they're growing up, the things that you can do and the ways you can give back and lend and be a part and help.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just looking back over where I've come, business, personal,
Mm-hmm.
kids, grandkids, I count those as big successes.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think, looking back over when you started the shopper, I think a good example of you can do a lot with small community. I think a lot of people think the community holds it down and doesn't allow them to grow, to flourish. So they think if I get out of this small town, I can grow and flourish. But I think you're a great example of you can grow and flourish in the community,
Sure can.
but you have to be willing to give to that community.
You do.
And I don't mean financially, I mean of your time,
Yes.
of your energy, of your ideas.
I'm a firm believer in that. And, something I was told many years ago is you get out of life what you put into it. And that carries over or it can carry over virtually to anything. You get out of a relationship, or you get out of a business, or your volunteer organization, whether it's monetary, if it's a job you're trying to do, or just the satisfaction and the gratification of helping. So yeah, you can definitely do that in a small town, and everyone knows you.
Which is good and bad sometimes.
It can be, you see the grandson that moved to town recently. So, how do you know all these people? Well, I grew up here. I went to school with them, and of course now I'm seeing their kids and their grandkids, and that's neat in a lot of ways. Networking. I think that if you're out in the public, which I have been all of these years through my business, people depend on you in various ways. You build so many relationships. They trust you, which is, again, that's invaluable, whether it be real estate or take care of you, if you're a shopper advertiser or whatever it might be. And there's just so much. To me, those are big successes, just personal, that make me smile and realize you can correct.
And you're right, it is about connections because they know they can come and they can trust you in the shop, or they trust you in real estate, they trust you if they need other things.
Yes.
Whatever it is, they know that you're a person to trust. No matter what she's going to help with, it's going to be, it's going to, we can trust that it's going to make a difference.
Yes. That means an awful lot. Yes. You want to train for that.
Because we only get one name in life. So we got to make the best we can.
That's right. Make the best. And you're, on the other note, you were talking about volunteering, and people think, well, what can I do? Or where can I? Or, oh, the chamber, that's just a select group of people. Or maybe you have to own a business. So there's a lot of misconception, there. I'm not special because I'm not the chamber. I just saw a way to maybe help, which is about our businesses and Bowie. So, and I have a business, so if there's something I can bring to the table and help, then that's good. But again, it's all types of people, all walks of life, and just getting involved, and don't sit back and wait for everybody to come to you. I think we can get away from that mindset, put ourselves out there more.
If we want to see a change, we have to be part of that change.
We do. And we want change. We want growth. I want to see our city, our community grow. I want to see more businesses come in here, and some of these empty buildings get full. And that's important to me. I'm not one to just sit back and I go to work and go home and I'm always looking around and noticing that just need to get involved. People just probably leave. Should get back in and involved.
And I think you're right. Like I said, everybody has something to offer. Even we might take it as, oh, well, everybody knows how to do it. But they don't. Sometimes we're so good at it that we think we just take it for granted. So everybody knows that, or everybody can do it, but they can't. And it may be kind of minor to us, but it can make a big difference in an organization, in our town, in business.
Yes.
We can just make a big difference if we step up.
Yes. And everyone benefits. Everyone benefits. So I'm completely agree with that.
Yeah. And I just want to thank you for sharing a little bit of your time with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, having a shopper and taking that step. I know to you it probably seemed like, well, that's just the logical step. But I look back as you're talking, I think about all those years and all those things learned, all those changes that have come about. And it's a pretty amazing since 1985. It's just kind of your life, your past. But when we look at it, that's a lot. A lot you've learned, a lot of people's lives you've touched, from people announcing of babies, and we saw and the changes of the paper and the changes of buildings, because in our community that's a big deal. Because those buildings are different things now. They've grown, they've moved on, just as the shopper has grown and moved on. And giving back of your time, because you love the community and all the different organizations that you give of your time, even when you have husband, kids, grandkids, because it's real easy to be stingy with our time for our family. It's very easy. And if we can just spend a little bit of time on our community, if everybody spends a little time, we can do a lot of big things.
Big difference, and we would see even more changes and growth and positive, which is what we want, That's what it's all about. And
it starts just with one person. And one person that has networks and
Yes.
connections with
Yes.
a lot of people.
Yes.
We could say 14,000 people.
Yes. Really could.
You come into 14,000 homes and businesses every week. Your product, what you represent. So no algorithm can take that away, thank goodness.
No, it can't.
Which is a pretty special thing in our day and time, that
It's very
you have
special.
that ability.
Yes.
That you go. I just think it's neat that
I
we
think
say
it's-
shopper. Everybody in our community knows what that is.
Yes, yes, they do, and I'm excited about that still to this day. I still believe, as I was saying earlier, just the concept, what we do, why we do it, how it works, and I'm extremely thankful that it is still working today. It may not in another town or city, or but here it's still working great, and I'm very, very thankful.
That's what makes our town special, I think. Some of those things that we
Yes.
still get to keep and
Yes.
do because people support it.
Yes,
And that's what it is people support.
it is. It most definitely is.
By advertising, by getting it, by selling from those that they read and see and visiting those businesses. I mean, you really offer a lot of networking opportunities and people that have businesses to sell things, to connect with people, organizations. It's really an amazing thing that we have that we can come to and
Yes.
get whatever we need. Whether it's a church, whether it's a bank,
Yes.
whether it's a real estate agent.
Or if you're looking for a chicken or a bird, or
Yes.
we laugh about all the many things over the years, but everything that you can imagine, you might find it.
And that's what our community made it is in the shopper, basically.
It really is.
Yeah, you can take a look at it, kind of get an idea for our community. So, but thank you, Carol, for spending a little time.
Thank you for having me.
And just
Enjoyed
thank
it.
you so much for your time. Appreciate that.
Thank you for all you do
Oh, you're welcome.
in our community.
Thank you.
Very much
I just want to help our business. I want to help our community, and I'm fortunate enough that this podcast gives me that to do. And then as we grow, people can tune in and say, "Well, what's the shopper about?"
Yes.
And they know those
And
things.
we have newcomers coming today. I see a lot there, real estate and the shopper, and more than maybe a lot of people realize. So this is ways that they can learn about our community and meet people and get involved. So,
Because sometimes we don't get to see a face or we can see a name, but sometimes we want to see a face with the business.
yes.
So it's kind of nice to know who's behind it.
To put that face and name together. Yes.
So thank you, Carol. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you to each of you for stopping by and visiting with us a little bit there on my hometown. We're looking forward to seeing you around my hometown.